Amazon. They're one of the biggest employers on the planet. And lately, they've been all over the news for a massive corporate shakeup. But this isn't just about numbers on a page. It's a huge story about a fundamental shift, and it's all being driven by AI. So let's get into it and figure out what is really going on. Alexa, find me a new job. I mean, how brutal is that? This phrase, this dark joke using Amazon's own tech, just perfectly captures how people were feeling. It's not just a clever line for a headline. It was the reality for thousands of people. It really tells you everything you need to know about the human side of this whole AI pivot. So just how big are we talking here? Well, the official announcements mention something like 14,000 corporate jobs being cut. But get this, sources inside the company suggest the real number could be closer to 30,000. That's not just trimming the fat. That is a massive overhaul of their entire corporate workforce. And what's really telling is who was let go. This wasn't just one department taking a hit. Nope. The cuts went deep across the board. We're talking high-paying tech jobs, software engineers, whole layers of middle management just gone, and even core teams like HR, the devices group, cloud operations, and marketing. It was a serious company-wide shakeup. And the way they did it, it was just as cold. Just imagine this for a second. You wake up, you get a text message in the morning telling you to check your email to find out if you still have a job. And if you didn't get an email, your next step was to call a help desk. It was so impersonal, so digitized, it just made people feel like they were nothing more than a number in a database. So this brings us to the most important question, right? Why? Why did this happen? It'd be easy to just blame the economy, but the story here is so much bigger than that. This was a very deliberate, strategic pivot. And right at the center of it all is artificial intelligence. We can really break down Amazon's thinking into three main reasons. First, a huge financial refocus. Second, a deep transformation powered by AI. And third, a reset after the pandemic boom. So let's start with the first one, which is all about the money. So driver number one is all about capital. These layoffs are basically a way to free up a ton of cash to pour directly into Amazon's AI ambitions. And we're talking about massive investments here in AI research, in designing their own custom AI chips, and in building out the giant data centers you need to run this stuff. And number two, AI isn't some far-off future thing for them. It's already changing how Amazon works on the inside today. They're using generative AI to handle complex analytics, to automate parts of the coding workflow, and even to help make decisions. And when AI does that, you just don't need as many layers of middle management to oversee everything. It's making them more efficient. And finally, there's the reset. You have to remember, back in 2021, e-commerce was absolutely booming because of the pandemic. So Amazon, like a lot of tech companies, went on a hiring spree. Part of what's happening now is just them correcting for that overhiring and making sure their workforce is aligned with these new AI-focused goals. Okay, so this leads us to probably the most important takeaway from this whole thing. What's happening at Amazon, it isn't just about Amazon. It's a signal of a massive change in the relationship between companies and employees. It's like we have a new career contract for the age of AI. Just look at this comparison here. The old deal, right, was built around stability and loyalty. You join a company, you put in the years, and you assume the company will take care of you. But the new contract? Forget about it. It is all about your personal adaptability and your constant need to be learning new skills. The responsibility has completely shifted from the company to you. And this phrase just nails it. Adaptability is the new loyalty. Your loyalty isn't to one company for 30 years anymore. It's to your own skill set, your ability to learn, to change, and to keep up with technology. That's what creates career security now, not how long you've been in one place. All right, so knowing all that, how in the world do you navigate this? What can you actually do to not just survive, but maybe even do well in this new reality? Let's break down some real actionable advice. First up, let's talk to those of you who are just starting out. If you're new to the workforce, you have got to understand that the rules of the game are completely different now. Seriously, the advice your parents got, even the advice from just 5 years ago, it's pretty much useless. Your focus has to change. Just being amazing at competitive coding puzzles isn't the golden ticket anymore. You have to be a full-stack problem solver, someone who can actually build things. That means you need to master practical tools like Python, SQL, and JavaScript. And, this is the big one, you need to learn how to use AI tools to make your own coding faster and better. Okay, but what if you're not new? What if you're already well into your career? The challenge for you is a bit different. It's not about learning the basics. It's about staying relevant and building a career that can withstand these kinds of shocks. For all the experienced pros out there, the game plan is crystal clear. You absolutely have to be constantly upskilling, especially when it comes to AI. Build side projects to prove you have these new skills. Use your network, not just when you're looking for a job, but all the time. And maybe the most important thing, save your money. Save aggressively. Having that financial cushion gives you the power to make choices, not out of fear, but out of opportunity. And this piece of advice is so important, it deserves its own moment. Be really, really careful about lifestyle inflation. Taking on huge monthly payments for a giant mortgage or a fancy car, it can trap you. It can make you stay in a job you hate or turn a potential layoff from a problem into a catastrophe. Building up your savings is one of the most powerful career moves you can possibly make right now. So we're left with this one final, really important question to ask ourselves. This is the challenge of our time. AI is moving at an incredible speed. The only way you can stay ahead of the curve is to make sure that you are learning and adapting even faster. So take a second and really think about it. Are you?